Welcome to day 10 of the 30 Days of Stories, Connection, and Conversation, hosted by the Holistic Healing Alliance as we lead up to the day of June 27th, our Rhythm of the Hearts Immersive. So, pretty excited about all of this happening. And I'm looking for me being live on Facebook. So, how are you all doing today? And if you are here live, if you can do hashtag live, if you can do hashtag replay, if you're here on the replay. And hopefully we are bringing in Rachel, who tries to get to be live with us. So welcome, welcome. It was a massage day, so I'm in massage clothes. Oh, I'm sorry, Rachel, you're just not coming through. But I have both all the communication channels open, so because I did miss you and Sunflower yesterday. So today we're going to look at cravings. And hey, Aura, yay for being live, and thank you for being here for 2 days in a row. Woohoo! So over the last few weeks, we've been going through a lot of questions, a lot of topics, a lot of focus about self. And this is just a taste of what we're going to experience at our event, the Rhythm of Our Hearts. And so the question that I have for you is, what are you craving? What do you need more of? What are you carrying that may or may not be yours? And that's some discernment going through there to see, is it really your responsibility to carry? I won't say burden, I will say responsibility. You get to make the decision of whether it's a burden or not. So I would love to hear from you, and I have been asking this question of others as well. So we're going to look at what people are craving through this experience. So some people are saying they're tired. They need a break. They need time to breathe. They need space for themselves. Not because they're lazy, but because they've been carrying a lot, and some of it is not their own. So a little bit of reflection. What if rest wasn't something we earned? And honestly, it shouldn't be. We need rest. In order to be our best selves wherever we go, right, we need rest. I've heard that people are craving connection. I hear, I feel alone. I miss meaningful conversation. I don't think I'm the only person out there who, it doesn't annoy me, but I don't understand small talk. To chit chat about different things before getting to the meat of the conversation. And I guess part of it is because I'm very aware that my time here is limited. And, you know, we all come with an expiration date. So if we're going to live boldly and live out loud, to me, it makes sense to have meaningful conversations, connections, whatever that may be. That doesn't mean I don't like to do things. I enjoy playing mahjong, and I've said that more than once. I enjoy playing games. I enjoy the chit chat while crafting or doing things like that, but not to gather like at a party. And I just, I don't know what the word is. Find it a waste of time. I don't know. It's like, I want community over like minded things, that the conversation either expands my awareness, my knowledge base, and or that I expand theirs. Right. So if you're here, if you could do hashtag live, that would be great. We have two by the eyeball. So the blessing, because there's a blessing in everything. The blessing of COVID was a number of things. One is we learned how to connect via Zoom or other video connections because we had to. And so with that connection, it was good because we were alone. But now that we're out of isolation, it's not necessarily something that we should continue to consume 24/7. To have connection in community face to face is more important than connection over Zoom. And I know I do a lot of training, especially over Zoom, and connection, and it's also connection with people across the states, right, or in another country. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to connect with them at all. So there is value to it, but we also need to connect touch to touch. We need touch in a safe and sacred way. And just because we're in a group of people doesn't mean that we're connected. And if you use your workplace, for example, if you go to work, we don't necessarily feel connected with those people. You're there for a common purpose, absolutely. And that's for your job. Hey, Mike, welcome. He says, my feed keeps locking up. Oh, I'm sorry. At least you're kind of here. So people are craving clarity, joy, and crazy enough permission. Right? So the responses sounded like, I don't know what's next. And do we really know what's next? I want more joy. Do you know what joy is to begin with? I had a conversation with someone, and I think I shared this yesterday, is that she didn't know how to define joy. And that's a question for you. Do you know how to define joy? What is joy? I did share or qualified it. Is your joy when you held your first child and your subsequent children, of course, but being a parent for the first time? Joy, awe, fear. Not everybody wants to be a parent who became a parent, depending on what generation you were born into. It was an expectation for me. It was, 2.5 children, a picket fence, and, for me, support a husband. That doesn't mean I didn't love my children, but it wasn't something that I planned for, per se. It was something I was supposed to do. And that doesn't negate anything about my children. But is that a point of joy for you? What I find joy in is when my dog Moose, he thinks he's a lab dog and he's 75 pounds. Okay. I do find joy when he climbs into my lap, and while every time I meditate, he's there to anchor me into my recliner. And that brings me joy. It brings me comfort. So if you can, and you're still connected, drop into chat what brings you joy, or do you need help defining joy? I hear people say, I want to learn how to trust myself again, or I want to learn how to trust myself, period. And working through a program in Mingle, I learned that the reason I'm here is I need to learn how to trust my choices. Because when I was young, I believed that someone who was within my family was a trusted adult, and I was very, very wrong. So my ability to trust my own judgment at 10 years old came into question and followed me through my life. And a lot of the things that I choose to do is based on expected behavior up until about 2019-ish. Another thing that people were sharing is, I want to have permission to slow down. I want to have permission to slow down. Rest and activity go hand in hand. When we honor ourselves, honor our bodies, there's a connection. There are 4 planes of existence in the work that I do. There's the plane of existence for physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And in the way that I read bodies, it's all anchored in the hips. Sorry about that. That was my dog. The lap dog, who's 75 pounds. And I want to feel like myself again is something else that people share. But what time are you referring to? When did you feel like yourself when you knew who you were? It's all part of a journey. Sometimes what we crave isn't another solution, it's just connecting to self. How do you connect to yourself is key. The rhythm of our hearts is going to provide you that opportunity. In 6 different sessions, in 6 different ways, to see who you are at this moment in time. And that doesn't mean that's who you're going to be. And it's not a guaranteed revelation, but it is an opportunity to explore. You get to spend the entire day looking at yourself, and it's not considered selfish. It is your right to be able to do that. Some people consider it an indulgence. I couldn't get the word out. And that's crap. It is not indulgence. It's your birthright to know who you are, what your boundaries are, what are your core values. All of it is important. And maybe we don't have time to reflect on it, but this is your opportunity to do so and to quantify and qualify what those are, to give names to them that other people have had this whole time and had the luxury of figuring it out. But it's not a luxury. It is a right. You get to know why you believe you're here on this planet. Rachel says, mine is also. Your feet is locking up? Is that what you're saying, Rachel? And hello, by the way. And I appreciate you trying to get on earlier. So what are you needing? Right here, right now. What are you needing? What are you craving? It's your feed. There's something going on in the cosmos. When the planning first began for the rhythm of our hearts, we didn't sit down and think, well, what do I need to teach? That's not how we operate. It was, what are people needing in their lives right now? And taking the pulse of us, the facilitators, some of the people of the HHA who don't get to, they get to have the opportunity to facilitate. We had a conversation because we represent the population. We may be 1 or 2 steps ahead of everybody else on the healing journey, but we're not that far ahead. And part of in my belief system, part of my responsibility is to share what I know and leave it up to everyone to decide whether they want to learn more. They're letting the seed be planted, or it doesn't resonate with them. But it's not my decision to not share. If I've been gifted the lesson, the awareness, then I get to share indiscriminately. It's up to the receiver to decide, well, this is for me or not. Because what I do, who I am, is important. But not any more important than you are. You are just as important. And you get to share your wisdom. You get to use your voice. And if these sound like things that you've never contemplated before, or you thought about it and have been afraid, or you slowed down for whatever reason, if you're not able to say that you were afraid, the rhythm of our hearts may be for you. If you're interested in getting a ticket, reach out to me or anyone on the board. There's several of us who are sharing this information. We have early bird tickets still left, and they're going to be on sale until next Tuesday. You get to receive a resource guide that you get to reflect on after the immersive, after the 27th, because you're going to receive so much transformational information, so many experiences. You'll need time to digest, to integrate, and then have the time to slowly move through the resource guide to say, oh, this is what I learned from this facilitator, and I have more material to utilize after the event, and I know how to reach out to them to clarify what I learned. And oh, by the way, you get to make new friends possibly at this event that has right now 24 people who are coming to this event. And we have space for you. We would love to see you there. So Rachel shares, I need emotional support. I've been reactive lately, and to have moments of what is wrong, why am I angry, irritated about. Taking a sacred pause. Taking a moment for yourself. In community or not. Some of us like to process alone. Some of us like to vent without a solution coming at us. I just want to speak what I'm feeling. We don't fix, we hold space. We suggest, and you can kick it to the curb. You're not going to hurt our feelings. So what are you going to find at this event? Connection, community, a place to share without judgment, a place to share that is not going to offer solutions or fixes, a place that offers support, unconditional support. It's going to be a place to offer inspiration, a place to offer hope, And it is a place of unconditional love for the human being that you are. It's designed to create space at the Puyallup Memorial Center, part of the Puyallup Rec Center. I don't think that's Parks and Rec. We get to partner with them. We get to partner with the city of Puyallup in this microscopic way. And hopefully we'll expand over time, because the HHA is just starting. The Holistic Healing Alliance is just starting. And all these things that I've shared today, the common thing is that we're not the only ones who feel this way. There's a lot of us out there who do, and it's time to speak to it. It doesn't make you weak. It actually increases your strength to recognize all of who you are, to be very aware of who you are. So my question for you today is, what are you craving most right now? Rest, connection, clarity, joy, or release? And why? If you can't answer the and why right now, take time to reflect. This may be a meditative moment. My new mantra: meditation to regulation. Regulating my nervous system, I meditate. There's more about the vagus nerve and regulation and breath work and meditation. Absolutely. Rachel shares, I'm just letting others know I'm also in need of venting, and your words is exactly what I needed to hear. Being able to name my feelings and acknowledge them is something you have taught me and can't wait to share with others. And you're welcome. You're going to bring me to tears in a second. We get to own every part of ourselves because we are freaking awesome. You get to say that about yourself without embarrassment, without looking around to see who's watching and who is within hearing distance. No one gets to dim your light. No one. And that's the Grammy Bear in me, right? And the Grammy Bear also in me is starting to include myself in that awareness. So I want to thank you for being here. I will be back tomorrow. I don't remember what time I'm back tomorrow, but I am back tomorrow because we are counting down the days to the immersive, which is on June 27th. Tickets are still available. We are on day 10. 10. Next week is the event. I have Rolling Spirit Bumps. It's going to be freaking awesome. And I hope you take the opportunity to be there. But we will be back next year if you're ready then. All right. Take care. Blessings. And I will talk to you tomorrow.